So hello, we're here in the majestic redwoods of Northern California, and I'm sitting here with Colt Briner and Brian Weller, who's joining me today to talk about their initiative, Rad Creative. So Colt, you talked earlier about radical shifts in multiple different ways. One of them is technology. Would you like to expand on that?
Yeah, really what's happening is so many things that used to only be available to massive corporations are now available to individual people. And this has been brought on by technology. So if you really take inventory of what now individuals have access to, their ability to create radically has magnified and multiplied exponentially. That's why it's often called the exponential age. So now through technology, I have access to production capabilities, right? So if I have an idea in my mind, but I don't have a lathe machine or a CNC, or I'm not good with that kind of computer working, well, I have access to the people and the production means in order to produce a prototype, let's say. And I have access to them on an hourly basis. Whereas previously you would have need to full-time hire these people in order to get that kind of work done. But now through marketplaces that are built on technology, like WeWork, et cetera, I can access a CNC designer for a handful of hours to render my concept prototype into a 3D digital space. Then I can take that concept prototype rendering to a CNC shop that's down the street, rent a CNC machine for half a day, and have that produce, out of aluminum or extrude from 3D printing. That concept now becomes 3D and tangible for me. In addition to access to production capabilities and talent, I have access now to capital, I have access to audience, I have access to literally the collective intelligence of mankind. I mean, what an individual has access to at their fingertips is incredible. And now it's the exercise of applying radical creativity that makes all of those things that are available to you powerful in your own hands. That's something I'm very excited about, technology changing for individuals, but it's also true for businesses. Businesses, whether large or small, that want to put together skunkwork operations inside their own walls and advance their own innovation in this way. They don't have to get into massive investments in order to rapidly prototype, rapidly validate. Again, it's all made possible through these new technological capabilities.
It sounds like you guys are taking the scariness a little bit away from this daunting time for businesses and people.
Yeah.
Quite great.
I mean, I'd like to add to this, if I may. I mean, I think this is a very powerful thread here. You talk about, in a sense, it's the empowerment of the individual.
Oh yeah.
To be radically creative.
Truly.
And it's almost like we now we've got permission to be true creators again. Mm-hmm. And looking at, this amazing democracy of technology.
Yeah,
right?
Well said.
How that links back to radical creativity and the brain. Part of our skill set is we track neuroscience, and we're experts in cognitive science, which is really the science of thinking and so on. And what's interesting about neuroscience and what we're learning about the human brain, particularly since the 1990s, which was known as the decade of the brain. This was the birth of the Genome Project, which was tracking, if you like, the DNA, but really tracking, in a sense, it's really the governing dynamics of thinking and consciousness, right, through neuroscience. But if you looked at the whole history of radical creativity, it's always been about amplifying the human being.
Sure, yeah.
Think about the wheel, the first engines, motor cars, planes, all of that. That was about really empowering our physiology,
Medicine.
muscle power, right? So we're amplifying a muscle power. And now we look to today and we see the evolution of information technology and computing and so on. That is amplifying the power of the mind, the power of the ability to think and create. And that's a whole other domain. But we also have the emotional self, which in the brain is governed principally by the limbic system, although it's a fully integrated, obviously, biological system. But we have all of the technology now through social media, through entertainment, making film, movies. We can do those on our iPhones right now. People have become, in a sense, are able to connect globally, express themselves emotionally, right? So we can think of technology as an amplifier of consciousness, thinking, creativity, feeling, emotion, physicality, and connectivity.
Yes.
All of this together to understand and to get some insights to how this technology is the forerunner of all of this technology. That is the promise of the RAD seminar. We want to give people the insight into where all this comes from and then apply it and use it in order, as Colt's saying, to really amplify their message and really become master creators.
Well, from Redwoods to Oahu, hopefully we will all be chatting very, very soon. So thank you guys so much for your time today. It's been a great honor. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Julie.